The serial designer is going to react to trailers today. These movies are handpicked by me. Every interior design student and architecture student must watch these movies. Let's watch them together, learn from them. Let's see what we visually learn from them. Also, visually se yaad aaya, we designers have been visual learners since the start. Tap me if I'm right. What we see is what we learn. What we draw is what we represent. Now, this is something we are good at. Representing our work visually, making it look aesthetic, framing a beautiful aesthetic frame, making it look pleasing to the eye. This is exactly what we do. Let's watch movie trailers to understand what we can learn from them, and let's see if we can crack this. For us, inspiration lies everywhere. Whether we visit bars, cafes, restaurants, public toilets, we see design. But before that, make sure you have already liked, shared, and subscribed to this video to never miss another update from us. Also, follow us on LinkedIn and Instagram ASAP. The first one we have is Abstract the Art of Design on Netflix. It's been there for a while, it's lying there for a while, and it's a very cool show. Let's see what the trailer has to say to us.
What's important is the story, the message, the feeling, the connection. It's design.
You go, oh my God, how am I going to solve this problem?
So, as far as I just saw, there was a part of architecture, there was a part of product, there also was automobile engineering, and a designer saying that, how are we going to solve that problem? So, I think all designers, will agree with me here that we are problem solvers at the end of the day. And I think what they're trying to do through this show is they are showing the real life story behind different kinds of designers. That is what I believe.
I really want to affect as many people as possible.
Honestly, nobody wants authenticity.
Tastemaking takes time. So if you get it wrong, you get it really wrong.
It's the best storytelling product we've ever done.
It was widely discussed that I had pushed it too far.
What are you going to make
Did you see that? Those models, oh my god, they're good.
the audience feel? Something true.
It's the kind of shit we do.
Oh, that's my favorite architect there, B.R. Kingill. There's a graphic illustrator. Okay, there was a graphic designer, there was an illustrator. Oh, that's pretty interesting. A Nike shoe designer. Wow, I would like to see what his life is like. Automotive designer. Most of the boys, the dream of most of the boys to become an automobile designer. Oh, of course, an architect, and who could it be but him? But I think y'all should really go and watch his website though. I really like this architect, and for those of you who have been following my videos for a while, you all would know that he is my favorite architect. And let's go and have a look. So there's an interior designer, there's a stage designer. I believe there are a lot of alternative careers also that they have, added to this lot, and they are showing the life of each of the designers. I think this is pretty interesting because it's like a documentary, but quite interesting, wherein we get to see what they are doing in their real lives and what challenges do they face.
I wanted to make something that would excite people about the future.
All I care about is what's happening on the page.
What can I make next? That drive never goes away.
You're looking for a moment when you feel you're as close to the soul as possible. That
Don't you think this video is very exciting? Like, I loved watching this video. A very interesting trailer. Most of the professions and alternative careers that people have taken in design. I think this would be a really, really cool show to watch.
That's what good design is.
Thumbs up, you should totally go and watch this show. This is another trailer, that is the creative brain trailer. This is also a show. Let's see what's there in that. Maybe they're going to take us inside the brain of a designer. I would be very interested.
Originality is bunk. I think it's nonsense. There never has been such a thing as true originality.
Creativity doesn't mean inventing something out of nothing. Instead, it's about refashioning what already exists.
I really like that line. It's a very mature line. Creativity is not something, that you can imagine or make. I think it's something to do with, you're refashioning something which is already existing. And I think to adapt is to design better.
The ideas that you have, the concepts that you have, are tools that will empower you to do more than you could without them. Before the Empire State Building was built, someone imagined it, then they built it, and now it's part of the real world.
If someone's like, that's weird, I'm like, yes, because it means they don't know it, if they're unfamiliar with it. And that's always kind of what I'm trying to do.
I think science is inherently creative. I think you have to be to discover something new that other people have not discovered already.
So they also have a nanotechnologist in this group. I think that's pretty cool because you get to understand the details, the small little things in design that really matter. Something like a nanotechnology to, like, say, a building. I think both of them are equally important. And as we always say, design is everywhere. Everywhere, look around you is just design. Your everyday objects, your phone, your chargers or whatever. I think this is a pretty cool, matured show, I would say. And they teach you the why, that why are you a designer. Interesting.
Regardless of what you do for a living, creativity and the creative part of your being is essential to your happiness.
All of my experiences off the piano have something to do with what I'm doing on the piano.
After the Gulf War, I went to school trying to find something I could do for the rest of my life, and it just kind of happened with ceramics.
They all are trying to find their calling. So most of us designers do not find our calling, ever. Like, this has happened with me itself, that, you really don't know where your passion lies, until probably it's late. So I think this might be a motivational show rather than just an educational show. So if that guy was into ceramics, he pursued ceramics, and I think if you're interested in something like that, that could probably just motivate you.
It's always easier to be a critic than a creator. This is our chandelier.
I find myself when I write, I create a whole nother world, the world that I'm supposed to be living in.
Because of this experience in my life, I was able to be reborn inside. And I am somebody that I never knew I could
be. It's not like you kind of sit around on a silken cushion and ideas kind of come down. That doesn't actually happen.
True. Very true. Ideas don't really happen when you're just like sitting. You have to actually work for them. A very, very mature line. Interesting.
Be creative to think outside the proverbial box. You have to be willing to be wrong.
What do you have to do to be able to join in?
You have to try your best.
You have to try your best, and you have to take risks.
Sometimes it hurts like hell, and it's embarrassing, and people get mad at you. It's hard, man. That's not a
I think they're not just talking about only designers. They're just talking about creative people in general, musicians and singers and artists, songwriters, even architects, designers, product designers. So I think it's a very good, cool show that why people think creatively, what is there inside the creative brain, as precisely the show's name is. A very good name, by the way.
Comfortable position all the time.
And of course, that is what creativity is, that we actually have the power to imagine the world that isn't our world yet.
Very big thumbs up to this show. It's a really motivating and cool trailer. And I think the show is even better. So yeah, thumbs up from my side. And let's go on to the next one. This is another show, Urbanized.
Cities today have been doing the same thing that they've done for 3, 4, 5,000 years. They've been the place where the flows of people, the flows of money, the flows of goods have coalesced.
Cities are always the physical manifestation of the big forces at play. Economic forces, social forces, environmental forces.
Very different from the first two movie trailers is this one, the urbanized one. I think it deals with how cities were made, how economic factors, social and environmental factors got affected. I mean, all landscape students out there, you all would totally have to go and watch this. What they're trying to show is how people adapted, urbanized themselves to move into a city, because you understand the psyche behind it, and also you get to see what the city was like before and how it evolved.
Urban design is really the language of the city. When you walk down a street, everything you see has been designed.
Oh, these are what architectural students' dreams are made up of, like cool models, cutters. So I think you all will relate to this much more. And yeah, urban designers, architects, and interior designers out there, I think this movie has already become a must watch, and you have to add this to your bucket list. That's Norman Foster, by the way. By seeing this video especially, I feel how far have we come. Like the people who are interested in humanities and history as well, they could also watch this, because how history and humanity have shaped who we are today and how the city is today. Very, very cool documentary. I really like this, and we should totally go and watch this. So I've selected different kinds of trailers here. One we saw abstract, which had a culmination of different artists. One was urbanized, where they showed how the cities were made. One was the creative brain, as to what happens inside the brain of a creative person. Next one is, I think, about a little bit about fonts. Helvetica. It's a very well-known movie, and here's its trailer. How pretty cool is this, wherein every day go on a street and you see this Helvetica font at so many places. This is the way we represent our work as designers, graphic designers and logo designers out there. You have to watch this. I'm sure I'll have watched it. Please go and watch this ASAP. Also other designers as well. How important is signages and different kinds of fonts, representations important for us designers, to follow? So I think this is precisely shown in this video. A very, easy, tiny video, but I think it has a very, very huge impact that, design, font, all this is all around us. how typefaces and fonts change our lives. Fonts is something you see every day, everywhere. The entire video did not have anyone talking about anything, which is a very cool thing which they have done with this video. They just showed you how font impacts your lives. The trailer is the Pixar trailer. Disney fans out there should totally go and watch this movie. That actually what goes behind a Pixar office, and what is it, to actually make a movie, the entire story of how Pixar came into place.
Mornings are hectic, but they're really fun too. Maybe I can show you.
There is no typical day at Pixar.
There's always somebody working really long hours.
There's so many moving parts.
Every detail that you see on screen, 75 people have argued about it.
Did you hear that? 75 people have worked on every detail that you see in a particular frame. I mean, that's bravo. The amount of hustle that they've tried to show in this video throughout the office, throughout the day, the late nights, I think it all pays off for these guys.
You have to believe in the spirit of collaboration.
Every film brings with it new character designs.
Did you see that? How cool is that? They're drawing and sketching those characters. Wow. And frame by frame, they are setting it up. And we all have seen Pixar, Disney movies. They are a treat to watch. And this is what exactly goes behind them.
A new style of animation.
Inspiration, it's something I'm constantly trying to chase and figure out.
But sometimes it hits at just the right time.
I know it's in there. I just don't know exactly what it is yet.
I think that's the story of all our interior designers. We know it's in there, but I don't know how is it going to come out. Yeah, well, yeah, we get that.
Storytelling is about taking people on a journey.
You have to be really vulnerable as a filmmaker.
We try to tell a story that's authentic. There's a whole world out there where kids don't see themselves. We all go through it. We are hoping to make that kid feel seen. You quickly realize how universal the story is.
Please go and watch this. All Disney fans out there, Pixar fans out there, any person who's interested in animation or drawings or sketches, digital work, must go and watch this movie. Though the trailer was very good, but I guess the amount of passionate that they were about their work is something which you'll probably just feel after watching this video and the movie. Last but not the least, we have Print the Legend, underrated movie or trailer, I would say. Let's have a look.
Computers were a really cool thing that only nerdy people were ever going to be into. 3D printers are on that same kind of arc.
We're out to fuel the next industrial revolution by putting the power to manufacture.
The movie is about how printing came into place and how printing has now changed from mere 2D on paper to probably 3D printed items and products that are sold. Again, very cool, very interesting, and not for the nerds, but for every designer in you.
Manufacture things in your hands.
3D printing has the potential to revolutionize the way we make almost everything.
Some of the developments that come from the 3D printer might put the first person to create that device on the pedestal of major social innovator.
Every day I get inspired by people who have MakerBots and are doing amazing things.
He grew up in an entrepreneurial household, so he saw things getting produced
People who run successful small technology companies pretty much have to be crazy.
When we started, we were the only one. Now we've got the big guys, and then we've got lots of small guys that think we're the big guys.
A little bit of entrepreneurship is hinted here, that how you can probably start small and become so huge, and your innovation in tech takes you so high that none of the smaller companies are ever going to be you know able to chase you down, or able to beat you. So I think a little bit of entrepreneurship, a little bit of innovation, and thinking outside the box, inspiration is something you'll definitely get from this movie, and I have also sensed it through this trailer.
Lives basically started in the basement of the house that Dave and I were living in.
I thought, this is a quintessential geek we are bringing up, obsessed with what he's doing.
I think obsession is something we all designers, should have. We need to be obsessed with things to be a good designer. We need to have certain pet peeves. We need to think outside the box.
If you're a leader, every day there is something new that comes up and smacks you in the face.
Welcome to the age of the printed magazine.
I'm going to introduce you to one of the most dangerous men on earth.
We're information anarchists. There should be one law. If the police can have it, if the military can have it, then you can have it.
Somebody gets murdered with a maker-botted handgun, then what happens, right?
His iron rule, we don't talk about 3D printed guns, period.
We didn't have to say, this is our response to the gun thing. It was just, hey, look at this.
RoboHand was worth talking about.
Wow, they actually made guns out of it. Military also got involved, and now they made like hands for handicaps. Pretty cool. Wow.
Did it get half the pickup of the DefCAD stuff? Controversy sells.
We were all inventing what was going to come next.
A great partner will turn into a horrible enemy. A company you've never heard of before will come out with something that changes the game.
Every once in a while, a revolutionary product comes along that changes everything.
That's true. Every now and then a revolutionary product does come around and changes the entire game. That's what happened with most of the things and products that have come in the recent years. But I think 3D printing was here to stay. Not many colleges, have 3D prints yet, machines yet. In the long run, most of our colleges, even in Mumbai, will be having a lot of 3D printing done, and most of the colleges in elsewhere as well. Really interesting show to watch, Print the Legend. A show for entrepreneurship, a show for innovation, passion. It's all here.